Welcome to the Resilient School Screencast series. This is September, which is National Suicide Prevention Month. So our topic today is suicide prevention, which requires everyone's effort all through the year. Suicide is often a difficult and painful topic, but a willingness to understand is a good step toward preventing tragedy. Based on the most recent available data in New Mexico from 2018, suicide was the leading cause of death in ages 15 to 17, second leading cause in ages 5 to 14 and 18 to 34, and third in ages 35 to 44. New Mexico tends to historically run about 50% above the national average, and rates have increased over the last decade. These statistics really don't begin to reflect the full impact. As we know, each death or injury has ripple effects through the whole community, and research suggests suicides can affect families for generations. But this also means that each suicide prevented will have long positive ripples well beyond our measurement capacity. Understand, we all have situations or experiences in life that are risk factors that can increase the load. And we have protective factors that can help balance those risks. Some examples of risk factors can include certain demographics, mental illness, physical health problems, relationship, legal, and financial problems, family or community history of suicide, and trauma, loss, and grief. Things such as stable relationships, sense of purpose, mental and physical health, effective coping skills, and certain belief systems can fall on the protective side. Right now, in these challenging times, all of us have some risk factors for sure, and I don't think anyone is completely immune. In past research, I found that the path from risk factors to suicide events is not just one issue. It usually involves a chain of events and factors. First, there are stressors and other risk factors, and then there's a loss on the protective side due to a lost or disrupted relationship or transitions such as moves or changes of school year or job. Next, there are conditions that temporarily impact judgment, things like anger, lack of sleep, or substance use. That can all be in place, but suicide will not take place without access during that chain of events to lethal means. One of the most consistent research findings regarding suicide prevention is that reduced access to lethal means will lower the rates because people in suicidal crisis tend not to be thinking very flexibly, and when their preferred method is not available, they gain some time for their thinking to clear. We may have opportunity to engage at several different places along this path, but the farther along, the more urgent the need for action and the more challenging it becomes for the person themselves to reach out, just like going from calm waters to rapids to the approaching waterfall. Those signs of rough waters are summarized in the American Association of Suicidology is PATH WARM acronym. I stands for ideation or thinking about suicide. S for increased substance use, often seeking temporary escape. P, feeling like there is no purpose in life or they don't belong. A, anxiety. This is important as while depression is associated with suicide in general, anxiety is just as much a warning sign and often goes hand in hand with losing sleep. T, feeling trapped with no way out. And H, hopeless. W reminds us that often people will begin to withdraw. A, become angry and push people away. R, begin to engage in out-of-character, reckless behavior without regard for danger or consequences. and M, show mood changes. One mood change that often catches those around by surprise is a sudden improvement in mood after a period of struggle. Sometimes that happens when a person has decided on suicide as a way out of their problem and feels a sense of relief. Sometimes there are warning signs, but a friend just sees one of them, and a family member notices another, and the people in the person's life don't necessarily have a chance to put the bigger picture together. This image shows a tunnel because suicidal thinking shows up in temporary tunnel vision. Solutions may be all around, but the person cannot see the way out. Distorted thinking echoes in their mind, making it even harder to reach out because of thoughts like, I am a burden. Or if there are friends and loved ones, somehow the thought turns into, they're better off without me. Or if help is available, the thought might be, I am beyond help or do not deserve help. If you hear these thoughts in your head, take note, but don't trust them. Know that these are red flags that let you know it's time to get a perspective from someone outside of the tunnel with a better vantage point. If you've been down that tunnel, you know that there is light when this state passes and things look so different looking back. While the distorted ideas are not true, they seem very real in the tunnel, and it has nothing to do with objective reality. People you might agree have serious obstacles to deal with, along with people that seem to have everything in the world going for them. Old folks, young folks, in all walks of life, all experience some of the same distorted ideas in that tunnel of suicidal thinking. It does not usually help to argue. Let's talk about what can help. ACT is an acronym to remember what to do. First, don't be afraid to ask. Have you reached a point where you're thinking you don't want to live? Sometimes when things pile high, people have thoughts of suicide. Are you thinking of suicide? When asked sincerely, it opens the door for discussion, and most of the time people will answer honestly. C, care. Don't judge, but do offer hope, and let the person know they're not alone, and you will help them find the right help. T, treat. Take action. Do not leave the person alone. Get them to appropriate help and follow up. If you're not sure where to go, you can call one of the helplines for round-the-clock guidance. You might also have learned these essential steps as question, persuade, refer if you had QPR training. Here are some of the local and national resources. You can download the New Mexico Connect app right onto your cell phone, or put the local numbers or the national helpline, which is the 1-800-273-TALK, onto your phone in case you ever need to reach out for yourself or call to help someone who matters to you. Until next time, I wish you a day full of hope and possibility.